Hey guys, and welcome to my first update for Batman Gotham City Chronicles. At time of recording, Kickstarter still has 11 days in its campaign, so I will do another final update 48 hours beforehand, so look forward to that video to help remind you of the 48 hours and to kind of recap where the campaign went, where it's headed in that last little bit, and kind of what is on offer at that time. Now, before I get into the update, I want to put a quick plug in here that I will be painting some of these miniatures a little early. I'm getting some sent, and they should be here by the end of this week. So expect to have one either on the weekend or kind of in the Monday time frame. But either way, I'm going to get those out as quick as possible so you guys can kind of see my opinions on the miniatures, their quality, their, design of the sculpt, and then how easy they are to paint and my interpretation of the painting scheme for there. I'm going to try and do something a little bit more cartoony, which isn't something I've done before, so we'll see how that goes. Anyway, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into the news update. So first things first, they are adding Green Lantern. Backers were able to vote for their favorite pose, and the miniature sculpt is being finalized now. Backers also got the opportunity to pick their favorite pose for Ra's al Ghul, which is pretty cool that they're allowing us to do that. Now, Green Lantern's a big deal because at first they were going to say it was Batman only, but there was such an outcry to add it because he was the same power level and he'd kind of fit into the game, and they were already getting kind of close with some of the other miniatures that were unlocked, and so they decided to go ahead for it, but they still got to get the sculpt done and get it approved by DC and all that. So it's a little early, so right now he's a silhouette, but he will be coming to the game. At the time of recording, backers have unlocked 11 more heroes, 16 more villains, 7 groups of goons, another group of allies, and 4 tokens that have been made into miniatures as well. And these include everything from Bluebird and Firefly to Batwoman and Harvey Bullock. Some of the updates they've posted on their Kickstarter campaign have had wonderful insights into the development process, such as how they designed the various maps and how they designed scenarios with important decisions, all for replayability and balance. This includes details such as elevation levels, line of sight, tile overlays, gameplay abilities, etc. If it's something that interests you, they are fantastic reads. Additionally, there has been an update describing how a scenario is set up and how that information is displayed in the scenario book. They also released some pictures of production samples from the factory, and I must say they look fantastic in quality. Additionally, that T-Rex is huge. And don't fret if you believe a base pledge is without actual game content. The core pledge without future stretch goals already has a total of 21 scenarios for you to play through. Now, one item of note is that scenarios only offer a selection of characters to pick from. You are not free to pick any villain or hero you choose. This is for balance reasons, and I find it quite understandable. There are very few ways to properly balance every single scenario with hundreds of combinations of villains and heroes. It is, however, unknown if all stretch goal miniatures can be used in the provided scenarios, if any will only be used once, or if they require the Versus expansion to be used, though I doubt that last part could prove true. In the end, do keep this in mind when deciding to back this game or not. There is a wealth of content, all of it repeatable several times over, but miniature selection is not truly open. Now, I don't want to leave on that note, so let's go through all the stretch goals unlocked so far, along with some commentary you may or may not appreciate. We have Man-Bat, a very cool miniature for a fairly uncool character. Now, when it comes to famous Batman graphic novels, this one is either the best or worst one made, depending on who you ask, but either way we have Hush unlocked. Now, from one of my favorite recent stories of Batman, we have Talon and his goons, both melee and ranged, and I think they all look cool, though they're ranged more than the melee, because they got snazzy suits. We also have the sad poet Solomon Grundy, who has been unlocked, and he's doing a very much not Marvel Hulk smash. Now, for a scenario that might or might not involve a giant vat of chemicals, we have the original Red Hood and some hazmat thugs. We also unlocked the Get Off My Lawn Grumpy Batman from The Dark Knight, and he's pretty cool, as he can be put on a different stone column to match the map better. We also have Jason Todd as the Red Hood, but sadly they gave him a giant freaking gun instead of his awesome pistols. Of course, he's backed up by his gang. Then we have the Robin with the most amount of problems to date, and that's saying something, Damian, who has been unlocked, and I really dig his action pose, as it's quite unique. Both orphans have been unlocked, and I dread having to paint so much white, but I think he'll look cool and really stand out once it's finished. Moving on, we've unlocked some art. So this is kind of cool, and I really appreciate the focus Monolith has on their artists. All of the sculptors are continually credited, and we get some free art created for the game. Whether this will be flat or rolled is anyone's guess, however. My assumption is it will be small enough to lay flat in a box, kind of like a mini poster. The Penguin has also been unlocked, and I really love his stance, but his goons look absolutely ridiculous. From a painter's perspective, nets are very hard to accomplish, and so I'll have to put some thought into how to do those properly. Now we have a lot of 3D tokens that we've been unlocking to date, so I'm going to go over them all really quick instead of in order. There's a command post, there are bombs, there's computers, and then there's a single safe. Deathstroke has also been unlocked, and is one of my favorite characters because he has such a cool mask and attitude, but they gave him an odd choice in sword. Now we have a prison map, so we'll be needing these unlocked prisoners and guards, I guess. Now Year Zero Batman somehow manages to have an axe that's non-lethal. Only Batman can figure that one out. We also have Renee Montoya and Harvey Bullock to add to the regular Joe Schmo category. I find Harvey's clothes far too ripply. He looks like he's wearing an accordion on his sleeves. Now Deadshot has a cool pose, but he must be super strong or have a very lightweight gun, because that thing's huge and he's holding it like it's nothing. Now this is something kind of unexpected, but Firefly has one of the coolest models in my opinion, and I cannot wait to try my hand at painting fire inside of smoke. That's the goal anyway, we'll see how that works. An additional scenario breaks up the unlocks and points to more scenarios being unlocked as we go along. An alternative Riddler that hopefully doesn't have his cane broken in shipment was added, as well as Mr. Bloom, somebody I had never heard of before, and he looks ridiculous, but in a cool way, I think. He's a very large miniature, and he comes with a set of goons that look like old men. I believe an old man gang puts him on Batman's C-list rogue gallery, perhaps? Batwoman was finally added, and I love her swinging pose, and her color scheme makes me excited to paint her. She'll probably be one of the first ones I do. Ra's al Ghul was added, and his pose, as I said before, was voted on by backers, which is always a cool thing. Bluebird was added, and I can't remember reading a comment about anyone excited by this fact. Additionally, Black Mask looks very angry, probably because he's missing his weapons. Maybe they should have added those in. But either way, it's a really cool pose, and I love the mask. The long Halloween Catwoman was unlocked, and I love the tail and suit she wears here. Dr. Death is another cool looking and interesting miniature that no one was excited about. But that's probably not his fault, though. He's followed by acts that are hard to compare to. And that leaves us to the last bit, which is a duo. So we have unlocked Black Canary, and soon we will unlock Green Arrow, as I mentioned at the starting. Now I'm fine with them removing the molded fishnets from Black Canary, as those would have been difficult, though I still think possible in a mold, and they can be painted on okay, I imagine. Green Arrow's pose, as mentioned before, was voted on by backers and was only added by popular demand. Lastly, at the time of recording, the only other stretch goal I know of is Katana, and she will be another hero. But anyway, guys, that's all I have for this update. It looks like the campaign's just kind of steadily progressing, adding, a few upgraded components, a few throw-ins like a scenario or an art print, but otherwise is just focused on adding more and more miniature options, which is something I think we all kind of expected. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope it kind of helped you see where this Kickstarter campaign is at. If you did enjoy the video, please give it a thumbs up. That's always helpful for the channel. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions, or if you're looking forward to something. I'll be sure to call it out in my final update. That'll be the 48 hours before its closure, which will be next week. And really, guys, that's all I have for here. I will be back later this week or early next week with a painted Batman miniature, so look forward to that. I can't wait to share that with you guys. I don't know what I'm getting at, but I'm sure you'll enjoy it either way. I know I'll enjoy painting it for you. And with that, I'd like to thank all of my viewers, but also my patrons. Their generous support really helps motivate me, has already helped me buy more product that I can use for more videos. And all around, they're just a great group of people that I can't wait to start giving back to and providing all the rewards that I do over there. So if you are interested in actually supporting this channel more than through a like on the video or a comment, go ahead and check the description and the link below to my Patreon. Obviously, you're under no obligation to do that, but that option is there if you choose to do so, and I try to offer some good perks for it. Anyway, guys, thanks so much. Regardless of anything, I always appreciate your viewership and your kind comments, and I look forward to talking to you again soon.